Welcome to the MS&Me Radio Network. The broadcast shows are for informational and entertainment purposes only. They are not designed to provide listeners with specific personal, medical, or counseling advice. Individuals with a medical issue should always consult their healthcare provider. MS&Me is not responsible for content of individual shows. The views expressed by show hosts or their guests are their own. Enjoy the show.
Hey y'all, and welcome to Straight Up with MS and all its crazy little circles here on MS&Me Radio, brought to you by the MS Global Support Network. I'm your host, Patty Long, and you can find me at MS&It for Life on Twitter, and I spell that MSENIT, the number 4, LIFE, and Twitter uses @signs, the little squiggly curly thing over the two, and that @sign is how we all have our handles. It's at this and at that, and you're supposed to only have one @sign, not 12, so keep that in mind, that it's much easier for all of us if you just use one account, because we get confused enough, without having the same person with a whole bunch of different accounts. And that just makes a mess of it. And y'all, please remember, if you come on there, not to twist somebody else's words around, because when you do that, it really makes you look bad. It doesn't make the person who said the original thing look bad. It makes you look bad for twisting it into something nasty and negative. So let's try not to do that, and let's try and be friendly and not put that ugliness up there, because I know that my friends and I on Twitter, we're really tight. Okay, we're family. That's why we use the hashtag MS Family. And the hashtags is how we find things. Hashtag MS. If you search that, you'll find stuff. You'll find stuff with hashtag MS Friends, hashtag MS Family, hashtag We Have MS, hashtag Chat MS, hashtag Can Do MS. There's all these different hashtags, and you can use that in the search bar and find all this great stuff. And we've added a new one that's hashtag This Is MS. Now, I already had a bunch of hashtags that I used, and I've added this one, but I used to put That's MS, and Randy Patrick has decided to make it This Is MS. And let's face it, Randy Patrick is much more popular than I am. So, yay, Randy, for putting the hashtag This Is MS together and compiling these things. So I had a bunch written, and I was able to add those. And then my buddy Mal Pram, and I always want to call him Sir Lancelot, and I should probably go on here and see exactly what his handle is, because I can never remember the handles. Okay, I call him Sir Lancelot, and I've got his handle up here now. It's at Lancelot's Pram. So LANCELOTSPRAM. And of course the @sign is at the front. And he is hilarious. So and he's got more issues than just MS, which a lot of us do. We have more than one issue, So, anyways, if you attack one of us in this group, then you've attacked the whole group. So I suggest you don't attack us, because somebody's going to pick up the slack and have a few words with you, and you may not like them, because we are a tight-knit group, and we just don't tolerate meanness to each other. And that's what family is about, and that's why we use that hashtag MS Family. Because, you don't let somebody attack your family. And it doesn't matter who it is. Nobody attacks my family, period. So y'all keep that in mind before you write the nasty comment. And somebody put out there about something I had said, because I had talked about putting together a silly picture book of the things that we do, or the things and places that we find our things, I should say. The places we find our things in, because I had taken a picture of where I found my coffee cup. And I found a coffee cup that was about half full of, I don't know, 2-month, 3-month old coffee. It was disgusting looking. So it was super old. I made sure I kept the inside of the cup out of the picture because it was gross, you know. But I found this inside our game closet. And I went in the game closet because my daughter and my grandchildren were coming to visit. And so I was cleaning up and putting some things away, and I found a piece of one of our games. And so I stuck it in the game closet. I mean, where else would it go, right? And with that, you know, that was just, you know, it's just one of those things that happened, because I lose my coffee all the time. But I don't know how in the heck or why in the heck I ended up with a coffee cup in the game closet, because I haven't been in that game closet since the last time the kids were here back in December. So has that coffee cup been sitting in there since December? Oh my gosh, I don't know. I really don't. I don't know how long it had been in there. I can tell you this, it was ice cold. And I wasn't going to drink it. But I put this picture up there, and it was part of the This is MS. And you just start out MS is, and then you put your statement. And Mal, bless his heart, he put them all together for us, and he keeps updating it, and he's got them in a nice, neat thing. He's got a Bitlily spot, and I've always wanted to do that, and I've never been able to figure it out, which is really crappy, because I've got all this material that I have written, but yet I have no way of getting it up there. I've even tried to do it. I've set up an account once and to put my rating out there, and well, I didn't know what I was doing, so I didn't do it. It didn't happen. So I need help, you know, these cognitive difficulties. And I told you last week, you know, side effects. Good gosh. I was so hopeful about this new medication, topiramate, that I was taking, because it took my headaches from a constant level 8 down to this little bitty 2, like it was nothing. And a 2 is nothing. I mean, for somebody that lives with pain nonstop, a 2 is nothing, right? I mean, I see it as nothing. I don't know about y'all, but I see it as nothing. And with it being at a 2, I could think, and I could have conversations a lot better, and do things without getting as frustrated so quickly. So I was able to finish building my little car, and I was able to work a bunch of puzzles that prior to that I wasn't able to work, and do all these different things. And I felt like I was growing up in a way, but yet at the same time my emotions were stolen, and there's nothing worse to me than losing my emotions, because I am all wrapped up in my emotions, you know. Anger isn't a great emotion if you just let it fester. But if you use it to your advantage, it can be a good thing. So I use my anger to do my exercises. Well, with no emotions, I could barely do my exercises. My stomps were not stomping. They were just walking. It was like I was just stepping out to the side and walking instead of stomping. I couldn't stomp because I had no feeling in there. There was no emotion. And yeah, I'm pretty good at faking it when I need to fake it, but you cannot fake emotions continuously. So if you're faking emotions because you're on a medication that has made your emotions go wacky, then you need to let your doctor know about it. And you need to figure out which medication it is, because taking medications for side effects, to get rid of side effects, to add another medication, that's just not a good idea. So, there was that. And then there was the problem with my eyes and the teardrops falling apart before I could finish blinking. And then before I had a chance to call my doc the next day, my hands started going numb. And then I had other issues as well. And I've got this big long list in there of issues. But the headache was gone. And I could think better. I could remember better. And I had these positives. And I really don't want to get rid of the medicine, right? But I really don't want to keep the medicine. Oh my gosh. So Friday came and went. And I still did not message my doc, even though I should have. I kept taking the medicine thinking, it'll calm down, it'll go away, it'll go away. But no, it didn't go away. So Monday morning at 9 o'clock when I woke up, because I slept in late, which 9 o'clock seems to be a good time for me to wake up, but yeah, it's too late for me to wake up because I miss the sunrise, and I like the sunrise. So at 9 o'clock, I sent him a message through their portal system. And at 9 p.m., I get a message back from him apologizing for it taking so long to get back to me. He apologized and said, yes, you need to stop this medicine. I'll have Virginia, that's his nurse, I'll have Virginia call you tomorrow. Well, Virginia failed to call me the next day. So the next day at 4:30, just before they close at 5, I called Virginia and I left her a voicemail. Dr. English said you were going to call me about this. I don't know how to stop this medicine. I don't know what to do. He wants me to stop it right away, but I don't know how, because it's one of those that you taper up. And so I imagine you would have to taper down. And I was at the full 50-50 dose. 50 milligrams in the morning and 50 milligrams at night. So she called me back, and on Tuesday, I wrote to him Monday. She was going to call me Tuesday. She never did. She called me back on Wednesday. That was yesterday. Oh my gosh. See, my memory's already failing again. So she called me yesterday and she said, he wants you to just quit it. Just stop cold turkey. And I'm like, cold turkey, really, on this med? And it surprised me. I figured they'd slowly get me off of it. But no, they want me to quit it cold turkey. Now I have to worry about whether I'm going to be slinging slobber. Because, as bad as the shoestring drool shake is, slinging slobber can be just as bad. And, when you're coming down off of these meds that have caused all these side effects, especially emotional side effects, they can kind of cause you to act out or act in ways that are not normal for you to act. It's one thing if you're slinging slobber because you're mad at the world, and you're always mad at the world. But it's different when you're rarely mad at the world and you're just mad at everything because the medicine has done this to you. So yesterday, was my first day with no meds, because I had already, just on my own, without talking to anybody, skipped the morning dose and decided, well, I'll just take it in the evening and cut it in half. And then when I got the call, she said cold turkey, so I didn't take it at night either. Now, what this meant yesterday was I was kind of ill and cranky all day long. And here I am with my daughter and my daughter's kids here and her husband. But her husband is already living down here. He's already moved back to Spartanburg. And because she's planning on moving back in May when her contract is up. And then the whole family will be back together. But he came first to find a job, which he has, and he's got a good job. And so now they're looking for a house, and she's, checking out houses and stuff and getting that together. And we're doing a birthday party for her baby and all these things. Well, I shouldn't say baby. She's a big girl now. She just turned 4. But, I don't need to be ill with these children. They're children, and they've done nothing wrong. So every time I feel this madness of hatefulness and ill feelings, I just leave the room. And our temperatures here in South Carolina are super bouncy. So we went from 27 degrees in the morning, which like today, when I first woke up, it was 27, 28 degrees. And, it'll be 65 to 70 by this afternoon, according to the weather station. So, we're having this big temperature swing throughout the day, and I get cold. So, I don't get cold just from the cold. I get cold from the temperature swinging like that. And that's just me normally. So I've been coming outside all bundled up so that I don't do the whole cold thing and freeze, even though it's not that cold outside, in the afternoon. And the sun is bright. But, I'm staying away from my family when I feel like that. And going cold turkey isn't the most wonderful thing in the world, but it's probably the best thing I could do. And he's also set me up an emergency appointment for first thing Monday. So, well, actually, it's not first thing. It was going to be first thing Monday, except for I said, no, I can't get there at 9 a.m. I'm so sorry, but there's no way. It's a 2.5-hour drive. And they said, oh, that's right, you're coming from South Carolina. And I said, yeah, and the opposite end of South Carolina from Georgia. So, yeah, I kind of need a little bit later. And she said, oh, well, we've got a 2 o'clock on Monday. So it'll be later in the day on Monday. But I'm going to be there Monday, and we're going to look for another anti-seizure medicine that does not get processed through my liver, because that's why we picked this one in the first place. It didn't go through my liver, and there was some great stuff as far as other effects. Like I said, it knocked the headache slam out, which I can feel it already is coming back. It's already climbing, but it's not the level 8 that it was. Maybe it'll stay lower. I'm hoping it'll stay lower. But, if it comes back, it comes back. I handled it for nearly 2 years, so, well, a year and a half, so I can handle it again. It's not a big deal. I just keep on keeping on and try and forget about it, keep smiling through it. I laugh, I have fun, I ignore it, I tell it to go away, and I stomp it out. I get mad at it, I stomp it out. And the stomps make the little spiders stop crawling all over my legs, as Tori was talking about online. And I love that analogy. I like analogies with MS, and that's kind of what this is MS is for. that hashtag, you put these little analogies, so I put things like MS is going to bed sober and waking up drunk. Yes, this is MS. And it is, right? I've done that plenty of times. And, I think a lot of people have, because a lot of people were writing comments on that one. So, and I'm a random person, it's just, I'm just so random, and my ideas are random. But don't take what I say. If I take something that I like I said that I'm not a real fancy dressy person. Okay, I usually wear blue jeans. And right now, blue jeans and sweatpants, well, they're not sweatpants, but they're like, I don't know what you call them. But blue jeans are mostly what I wear. And I don't even have dressy clothes anymore because nothing fits me. I lost too much weight, and it's really that I just lost too much muscle because I was not a big person as far as that goes, but I lost about 20 pounds worth of muscle. And so that 20 pounds worth of muscle knocked me down a couple sizes in my clothes. So I don't have any fancy clothes left that fit me. But in any case, I had put something about going to these really fancy parties, dinner parties, with the rich and not so famous, or the very wealthy and not so famous, around town for business. And the only thing I didn't like about them was getting that dressed up, because I had to get really super dressed up. And my idea was to take pictures like the one I took of my coffee cup sitting in the closet, the game closet, of where you find stuff that you have lost, and put them together in a picture book, leather bound, to sit on a coffee table. Because at these dinner parties that I went to, these fancy parties, there was always a coffee table book. Always. And these are picture books, and they have, glossy pictures, and somewhere on the page of the glossy photograph, underneath, above, to the side, however they fit best, it has a little something written about the photograph, about the person who took it. And I thought it would be cool to do a coffee table book about MS, and the craziness of MS, and put it out there. And I think because I've been to these events, and I know that we always looked through this book that was sitting on the table, and I know that we always discuss the pictures in the book. Oh my gosh, look at this one. This is so cool. I love it. Or what are they thinking? But it was a discussion about the photographs in the book. So why not make a coffee table book about MS? I think I might could do that. So, maybe if I can drum up enough people to take some cool pictures of the crazy, zany things about MS, not real photographs, not Photoshop or something like that, but real photographs. And they don't have to be perfect images, but, real photographs. And let's show the world what MS is, what it actually is. And to our lives. They can't see that I can't keep up with things. But if they saw where I find things, it might click, like the coffee cup inside the game closet. And I've got friends who tell me they find their stuff in the refrigerator all the time. Well, I just don't go in the fridge all the time because I'm never hungry. But that's a whole different issue. So, there's just so many different ways that we can try and get the message out there to people that MS is real, that cognitive issues are real, and that we have a voice and we need to be heard. And you should know what this is. And we need some help. So please help us. And there's plenty of people out there that if they knew we needed help would be willing to help us. We just need to let them know. So, I encourage you again to come on Twitter, to find me, to say hey, to join our little crowd, and to then share with me and the rest of us pictures of where you find your lost and missing things, because I know that this kind of stuff is really funny to me, and I do think it would make a great coffee table book. I really do. We can put notes in it about the individual and what they're dealing with, and I think it would be a great idea. But anyways, these are just my random ideas from one day, and I have random ideas floating through my head all the time, and there's no telling what's going to pop out of my mouth. So, it's just randomness. But sometimes those random thoughts end up with a good idea in them. And I think this would be a really great idea. So with or without help, I'm going to try and come up with a coffee table book for MS, and see if I can't get in touch with some of my photographer buddies from the past who are excellent photographers, and see where things are in the world of photography and publishing and all of that kind of stuff, and where to get the best deals and how to go about things. So anyways, I'm gonna see if I can find my old contacts and start on that end, and in the meantime keep on taking pictures of where I find craziness in my life. So it's time for me to go. I love you guys, and thank you so much for listening. Have a great week. Sorry, I'm still coming down off of this med and I'm not all here. Next week I'll do better. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. But till next time, smile big. Smile often. Laugh a whole lot. And most importantly, love yourself, your whole self, including your wacky, messed up parts. Bye, y'all.